Yeah. She want that milk and cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She want the milk and cookies. Yeah.
She want that milk and cookies.
Don't be scared, girl, it's right there. She want that, she want that.
She want that milk and
Yeah,
cookies.
she want that, she want that.
She want that milk and cookies.
She want that, she want that.
She want that milk and
Yeah.
cookies. Don't be scared. It's right there.
I'm talking about that blind trust, undeniable love. And she don't trip when I don't answer. I love her like turtle dove, kisses and hugs. Hugs and kisses, girl, what's the difference? Be persistent, don't let haters make incisions from that nonsense you've been hearing. My heart keeps steering, down the road we persevering. Life is clearer, take a look in the mirror, see the picture. You and me together for eternity. So leave your heart in my hand, I'm where you wanna be. Now some say love it never lasts, but see I disagree. But if your heart is only in it, it won't last, you see. Cause love is blind, even the game, I'll call it hide and seek. The truth it hurts, but I appreciate your honesty. Be who you say you are, be where you say you are. No matter where you are, I'm coming running for you, my star. Be who you say you are, be where you say you are. Yeah, this that real love like Mary J, don't break my heart. Yeah. Yeah, she want that milk and cookies. She want that milk and cookies. Yeah, she want that milk and cookies. Don't be scared, girl, it's right there. Yeah, she want that milk and cookies. She want the milk and cookies. Yeah.
She want that milk and cookies.
Okay. Now you can find me overseas in Paris, wee lobster shrimp by the sea, decked out in Louis V, you know the G. Live life with luxury, 30 flows up, penthouse suites, popping bottles, throw it up, we at the top and we still going up, rolling up, floating up to the sky. I'm so high I could fly, I'm on that ultra high pilot life, feeling right, jet set, the sky's the limit, this the life. Now picture life in a world so perfect, close your eyes, be where you wanna do, all you do is free your mind and the rest will follow. Go ahead and visualize a better place, a better time. Go ahead, escape the hype, be content, better yet satisfied. You tell a lie, watch your life get magnified. Spotlight, front page, all type of shine. Do me a favor, be where you say you are. Yeah, she want the milk and cookies. She want the milk and cookies. She want the milk and cookies. Don't be scared, girl, it's right there.
Y'all ready for this? Let's keep it real. It's Rahim Brazil. Let's keep it real. It's Rahim Brazil.
Yes. Welcome back to the show. Keep it real with Rahim Brazil. I'm so excited for today's show because I have a very special guest with me here on today. Now, you just seen an amazing performance by this guy. He is a rapper, he's an actor, and he is making his way in Atlanta and doing some great and amazing things on his new reality show, The Rise. Everybody help me welcome my friend and brother, Tay G, baby. Jay, what's up?
What's going down, brother?
You know what's going down.
Okay.
Basement. So tell us about the milk and cookies.
So the milk and cookies is off of my new project, Dream
Okay.
Chasers, which is coming out very soon this year.
Okay.
So-
Now, is this going to be a full project? Or
It's gonna
like
be
an EP? Okay, we getting EP.
Yes,
Okay.
EP. We ain't ready to give them a full
You ain't ready?
project.
You ain't ready for that?
I mean, I'm always ready, but
Yeah.
you know, coming back into music, I wanted to give them a little sample to let them know I'm here. I'm back.
Okay. Now, are you saying we're not ready because you're still trying to find yourself creatively?
Still trying to find other producers.
Oh, okay.
Other producers. So the
I know
producer
how
I
it
work
is.
with for the EP, perfect. But I want more than just the production and sounds that I've been going with. I want a little bit more. So before I
Yeah.
give a full project, I need to get a couple more producers on deck.
I love it. I love it. So tell us about this song, Milk and Cookies. How did you come up with the inspiration?
So I was in the studio with my homeboy Carvo. He produced the track. It's also him on the hook.
Yeah.
So when I heard the beat, I'm like, yo, this is dope. And he was like, I actually got a hook to it if you want to hear it. I'm like, sure, go ahead. And he started playing it. And I'm like, yo, this is real dope. This is real dope. I got something for it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So I just started rapping to it. And I was like, you know what? We rocking with this. I like it. So that's
Yeah.
actually how the song came about.
Yeah.
And it was history.
History.
Yeah.
I love that. So let's talk about a little bit about history. You've migrated from Cleveland and now you're here.
Columbus.
Oh shit, well Cleveland, Columbus, child. You know, Ohio. You came from Ohio. I always get y'all confused. You and Q.
I know.
Okay, so he's from Cleveland. You're from Columbus.
Yes.
Now, how far is that from Cleveland?
About an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half. Okay, so you're right there. Okay, so you migrated from Columbus to Atlanta, and you have been making your strides in Atlanta and really finding your footing. How have you been finding your footing here and making connections and everything been for you? What has that been like for you?
It's been amazing because I've made new connections. So I actually went back home in 2015 to help take care of my grandmother before she passed. So I was back home for a few years before I moved back down here.
Yeah.
So when I came back, it was like I never left. The connections that I made, bro, where you been at? We've been looking for you. So it was just like I just stepped right back into something that felt like I never left before. And then along the way, I made new connections, which has really been dope and a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited about being on a reality show?
I am. That came about, the crazy thing is when we had the movie premiere, Mercy.
Yeah.
I was approached by the producer of the reality show that I'm on, The Rise. And they were like, would you be interested in doing reality TV? At first, I was hesitant because I'm like, I just got to roll in a movie. Don't want to be actor now, reality show. But then when they were like, it's about music, I'm like, well, shit, sign me up.
Sign me up.
Music is what I do. That's my first passion. So it's been a journey. I've been enjoying it.
You've been enjoying it?
I have.
Okay. Now, has there been any mess and drama on the show?
Yeah, no. It's not really been no mess.
You haven't stirred up any drama?
Shit, if I did, oh well, but but I don't think I have. No, there's been questions about if castmates are dating and things like that. So a little mess like that. But
so are you dating one of your castmates?
I'm single.
Single.
Not the wink.
It's the wink.
Yes.
But listen, I just love your gift, and I love your music as well. And so tell us about this musical journey and what you intend to get out of it.
My musical journey, I'm ready to take it on a roller coaster. Like, I love all types of music, from R&B, soul, pop, country. I want to do it all. That's the songwriter in me.
Yeah.
So I just love making music. I don't think it's no type of bad music, because if one person don't like it, 10 others may. So it's either you love it or you don't. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. So I'm just really ready to show the world my craft on what I am as an artist, what I am as a songwriter, because I love songwriting. Yeah.
Dope. So what can we look forward to in this upcoming season of 2023?
New project coming soon. So I'm debating if I'm releasing it on my birthday or before my birthday. Yeah. But Milk and Cookies is one of the songs that's on the project.
Dope.
So new project, new venture as far as music, collabing with different artists. I want to get into that, as well as more movie roles.
Awesome. Now, is Milk and Cookies available now?
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
Now, you can't just be coming up here teasing people like that. You got to give them something now.
Well, listen, sometimes a good tease leave them wanting more and wanting them to come back.
Right.
So, it's okay to be a tease.
Awesome. Well, we definitely want to appreciate you for coming to Keep It Real with Rahim Brazil, and I appreciate your gift. But y'all make sure y'all subscribe to this channel, and also make sure you hit that notification bell. We want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in to this show, and we definitely need your support in order to help this show grow, because that's what we're here for, elevating the human experience. And so once again, give it up for my friend Tay G.
Thanks for having me, brother. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll be right back after this.
To resolve some of that baggage, therapy. I don't know why people in our community, specifically black, never wants to go to therapy.
Yeah. Welcome back to the show. Listen, such an amazing time over here on Keep It Real with Rahim Brazil. We just seen a dynamic performance from my brother Tay G. So y'all make sure y'all tune into him and to everything that he has going on with The Rise. Make sure you get ready for some awesome music. But listen, on this segment of the show, I wanted to talk about finding a solid partner. So of course, you know, I'm in a relationship, but I wanted to invite some of my friends to talk about their experience when it comes to finding a solid partner. Now, these guys are married and they've been together for some time, and we want to dive a little bit into their connection. So, first and foremost, give it up for Justin and Edmond. Along with my boo, Tyree Brazil. He's here on the show with us today. Yes, so let's have some real conversations. All right, let's start over here. You guys have been together for how long now?
It'll be 10 years in March, and we were married in 2020.
Wow.
10-10-2020.
That's good. Yes, clap that up. That's amazing. Because we're working on, we just reached year 2. And
Congrats.
Come
Congratulations.
on, give it up.
Clap it up for us.
That's right.
It's like 10 years in the dating world, in the LGBT world. Listen, dating and finding somebody can be a challenge, especially in the lifestyle that we're a part of, the LGBTQIA+ community. And so we want to talk today about why individuals have such a hard time finding that person, and what does a solid partner look like. So I'm gonna jump to you guys since you have the most experience, you know what I mean? What does finding a solid partner look like for you, Justin?
Well, at the time, I really wasn't looking for a solid partner, to be honest with you. I was just trying to get acclimated to Georgia. Just moved from Brooklyn, New York. So for me, it was just about just being comfortable with myself in a new space.
Yes.
And I just had fun times while I was here. And then in that process, I ran into my wonderful husband here. So
awesome. What about you? What were you looking at the time?
Not at all. Not at all. Realistically, when we first started dating, I was planning to move to New York.
Yeah.
Wow, and you just came from
And I
New York.
just
Oh,
came.
that's so ironic.
Because I went to school for fashion, and so I was like, oh, my friends are up there. They're like, you can come up here and get a job. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll be out. And lo and behold, like, just life took a different turn. And it was like, oh, like, I could still make my career work here.
Yeah.
But I still get the life and love that I want here too.
Yeah.
So it just took a different turn that I did not expect.
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. When y'all first started dating, how was it? Like, was it a little bit rocky at first? Was it like smooth sailing? How was y'all dating experience?
I think anyone who experienced that finding that person, it's like a honeymoon phase without the honeymoon part. But, you know, the excitement, the rush of just feeling like, wow, I just want to be around this person. I want to talk to this person. I want to find out what they think. What was their years before they met me?
Yeah.
And vice versa, and to share that. So
yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't completely smooth, because realistically, at one point, we were kind of like, what are you gonna do? Because again, I was like, I kind of need to leave Georgia.
Oh.
And
I never stopped them. I never got in the way.
Right.
I would help you, and if you want to go to New York, I'll give you all the tips you need. But by all means, I don't want to stop someone from progressing if that's where their journey was already taking them.
Yeah.
So
when you made the decision to actually stay, why did you feel like that was the best thing for you at that moment?
I think it was more or less all the prior experiences I had.
Yeah.
I started to just look at what was developing, and I was just like, this is really nice. Like, I felt very at home with him. So it wasn't like when I was dating and just like talking to people, I was already real like systematic, like, you do this for me, and you do this for me. And I was already trying to just be like, just for self.
Yeah, that's very important.
And I was like, okay, this person just blew up my whole little systematic thing that I had going on.
That's how it happens.
Like,
you know.
I was like, okay, like, we're gonna make this work. We'll make this work. And it was an avid choice, just like I'm going to do this and I want to do it with this person.
Yeah, that's ooh. It is a choice. It is a choice thing.
Every day is a choice.
Every
Yeah,
day.
every day, everything and every day is a choice. Like you can choose to be with somebody, you can choose not to be with them. But if you're choosing to be with them, make it, try to at least have the best experience, because if you're not going to make the best out of the experience, that person can be with somebody else that is going to, love and care for them in the best possible way. You know what I mean? Like, don't get in the way of somebody else's happiness. You know what I mean? If you're not ready. So
Right.
that's what I feel.
Right.
Boo.
Hi.
Tyree, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, have you on the show. Let's talk about, in a sense, what do you think people are looking for in life when it comes to relationships?
It's so weird because I don't think when people look for relationships, I don't really think a lot of people think about the long term. So when they rush into it and it doesn't work out the way that they wanted to,
Yeah.
they don't think about the work that comes with a relationship.
Yeah.
So, but like for in our situation, our relationship, our connection, we have our disagreements, our arguments or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing about love is like, people just look at love as like a one-sided thing. Like, love is supposed to be beautiful, it's supposed to be easy, but that's not really the truth. Like, love is ugly, love is hard, because when you come from different situations or different connections, like, you have to forget everything that came before and face what you're dealing with now. But that is what makes love so beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, to find a person that you can deal with, that like, can get past the ugly parts of you or the damaged parts of you, and just be like, well, I'm gonna love you anyway, and I'm gonna stick here with you, and just work it out. And I think if people thought about that aspect, I think a lot of relationships will last so much longer.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because like, you have to continue to choose that person over and over again when things don't quite look like they're going to be all right. And it is like, we come with enough baggage as it is, and we have to be able to like set aside a little bit of our baggage and realize, okay, if I've been the same person in these other relationships and they haven't quite worked out for me, then maybe I need to change a little bit by myself to be somebody different, so that way maybe this experience can either teach me something, or this can last longer than my last 5-6 relationships. You know what I mean? And so that's very, I love the fact that you brought that up. How do y'all know when you have, what would you say, how do you know when you've chosen the right person?
Well, I can say in the beginning phases, when we definitely were in that dating first 3 months or so, at some point we did kind of like break up for a bit, and I started talking to other people, as I'm sure he was
y'all
too.
broke up?
Yeah, it was in that beginning time frame. That first 3 months. So in that process of me to date and talking with someone else, I just realized I kept missing him. And although I wasn't texting him, or it wasn't like a secret from the person I was dating at that moment to him, it just still we balanced a friendship in that severed moment, in that time frame. And it just didn't work out with that other person. And sure enough, he was the first one. I was like, hey, well, I understand things might be kind of off for you, but do you want company? Do you want me to just be there, be there for you? Nothing more, nothing less, just be there. And it was just like, you know what? You chose to just be there for me in a moment that it wasn't about you.
Yeah.
And you understood the circumstance, and you still were there. So that was a choice that I appreciated.
Aww. Now, Edmond, you look like you tearing up, boy.
Stop.
Was that heartfelt for you to hear that?
Always. I mean, you always want to know that you're loved and appreciated from your partner. And I think the journey of finding and actually like realizing like someone is for you, it could come like at a different time in your relationship. Because I feel like one that definitely stuck out for me was when I actually introduced him to my family, and they all were just like, oh, he's great. Like, you can keep him around, because I definitely introduced other people, and they were like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And this was like, it was just so seamless, and I come from a really big family, so it's important to me. I want my partner to be someone that can meld within that chaos.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was
What
definitely
about you, Tyree?
Like, well, I'm glad you brought that up, because like anyone that I've ever brought to my parents, like, is like, no, but they absolutely adore him, and that was always a big thing for me, because it took a while for my parents to get comfortable with my sexuality. So after that, it came okay, so now I can bring people around. Mm-hmm. And I want my partner or whoever I'm dating, I want them to be comfortable with my family, to, like, you know, if I'm not there or something, you know, they can go to him or he can go to them, or if they have to make some type of decision about me, like, they have that mutual respect and connection. And yeah, my mom be texting him. I
love you, Mom. Yes. But also, like, my family loves Tyree. Like, my nieces and nephews love Tyree. And, you know, it's you know, like, I never sat my nieces and nephews down and say, hey, Uncle's gay. Nothing like that, but they know. They understand what's going on. And they just easily gravitated towards him. And some of the other relationships I've been in, that has never happened. But the fact that my nieces and nephews be like, where's Tyree? My one niece, Diamond. Where's Tyree? Like, did you call me?
It's
like,
not about
when
it's not about
they
you
asked
anymore.
for
It's about
them.
him.
They asked for them over
yeah,
you.
I'm like, well, you've been on the phone with me for 5 minutes. You ain't asked about me at all.
And now on, like, holidays, I get, like, texts like, hey, Uncle, like, miss you, like, happy holidays. Yeah, so it makes me feel really nice. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so in what ways do you think you have evolved as a couple?
Probably patience. I've never been the best with patience, and he's like the patient king to me.
Because you're like, what, an Aries?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, you're a Leo. Still fire sign, yeah.
Still fire.
Well, the fire signs, we ain't got no patience.
At all. At all.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
It is
it's
right.
right.
It is right.
And your earth sign.
Capricorn.
Capricorn, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, both Capricorn. You know, we had to learn some patience. friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm still in the midst of learning that patience.
But he's doing well.
But I'm doing, thank
mean,
you, boo.
well, yes.
I am doing
I'm
well.
proud
You know,
of
I'm
you.
doing well. Because y'all know, back in the day, Rahim didn't have no patience. But
Couple of years, like
it
a
takes
year
a
ago?
lot of patience for a relationship, though. You got to get out your own way. So,
Yeah,
patience for you. What about you?
I feel like deeper understanding and more awareness of someone else. Because in general, like, I definitely can get stuck in my ways of just like, things is operating like this and they work, so I'm gonna do this. But when it comes to him, I constantly am always thinking like, what could I do to do better by him? What could I do to like help our everyday life just be better? Because I love seeing him happy. So
I love
I feel like that's been a big evolution.
Yeah. And you know, you Capricorns, no shade. Y'all got to be careful with that, because y'all got a little selfish streak sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's just y'all, and I don't think it's just like y'all selfish people. Y'all just be in your own damn world, and it's like, move out the way and look at me. Like, move yourself out the way and look at me. So I get that. What do you think? In what ways have we? Be very careful.
Yes.
In what ways have you evolved? Have we evolved as a couple?
Now, individually or together? Sure.
As a couple.
As a couple together. I think that we both have ego and understanding one another. Because sometimes we get into we be so stuck in our ways, so we weren't really listening to each other when we were expressing how we felt to each other. And like usually in arguments, I hate when we argue, because when we argue, like, it just never goes well, but it takes for us to come down, for us to actually talk to each other and be like, okay, well, like, I can get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You know, and especially me, like, I can be stubborn. And when I get in my moods, I don't want to be.
He said it so quietly. So
Don't do that.
They be like
Don't
that.
say that
They be
just
like
as
that.
loud.
Okay,
It's like,
I can be stubborn, but you know, that is like, and I know, like, listening to things that are very important and vital for you in the ways that we operate, especially when we do get in arguments, because you know you don't want that loving, nurturing aspect to go away, even though we're mad. And versus me, when I'm just mad in that moment, and I just need to be in my bubble. But I have to learn, like, okay, it's not just about how I'm feeling right now. You're feeling a certain way, and you need to be tend to just as well as I. So
Yeah, because like I understand that we're gonna have our moments of frustrations. We're gonna have arguments, whatever. We're gonna trigger each other, and that's what relationship does. It triggers you in different ways because you have somebody poking at the very things that you need to work on, and that's triggering. But one of the things I always have said in every relationship that I've ever been in, just because you're mad at me, don't mean you can't love me the same. And you have to be able to love me while you're mad. I get that, but don't lose the love aspect of what we have and what we're building. You know what I mean? That just because you're mad, you're not gonna disrespect me and be rude to me and be mean, and like, you don't have to be malicious or whatever the case may be. You can tell me how you feel and all that, but we don't have to disrespect each other. We ain't got to do all of the crazy. Like, it doesn't have to take a toxic form. You know what I mean? Right. Because then you lose sight of what we're trying to build. And, you know, because the ego wants to be like, well, I'm right, you're wrong all the time. It gets in the way of that growth. And it's like, well, we're trying to grow here. Like, I don't want to keep having the same damn arguments. We need to grow from this and get into a space so, you know, 5 years down the line, we don't even fucking argue because we know each other so well. It's like, boy, don't do what you're doing.
Well, you still will probably argue just because the arguments, they're necessary because they also keep you honest with each other too. And I mean, you don't necessarily want someone just at some point to completely like agree with you all the time. I would feel, because I'd be like, you ain't got nothing to say, you ain't got no feedback, no critique, like nothing. Like, sometimes it's
Justin don't be having no feedback.
Justin is the feedback. He is the feedback.
Okay, because I'm like, that's a fire in the sign.
The feedback
all we know how to do is express.
Pretty much. But like a therapist once told us, do you want to be right or do you want to be together?
Yeah.
So you got to pick a choice in that. Whether I know I'm right in a situation or I know he's right, is it about that or is it about us just being together and being in love?
I want to be
and that's
together.
More important than the right.
I want to be together.
Can I be right and together?
No. All right, listen. This is for everybody in the room, except y'all behind the camera. What is the biggest misconception about relationships? Anybody can go. Like it. You don't think it's the biggest misconception?
The expectancy that society always puts that it's always going to be happy and blissful. I think that's
the number one killer.
False advertising.
That's the number one killer of a relationship. I tell you that, every day is going to be rainbows and butterflies. Is like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I feel like I have a few in my head because just of experiences. Like, I know recently we've had a friend that told us something to the effect of, like, they hate going to sleep. They don't go to sleep mad or angry at their partner. Like, they have to resolve it. And it's like, maybe you should take your ass to bed. Take your ass to bed. And y'all talk about this another day, another time when y'all in a better space. Because sometimes, like, you need to have some thoughts for yourself. And timing shit in your relationship.
Yeah.
Sorry for cussing. But, yeah, the timing. Like, I feel like people be like, oh, well, if you haven't done this in 2 months, is it really real? Like, Mind your business. Like, if you want to get married, like, tomorrow, you do that. Because I know that was one thing that we definitely got asked a lot. Like, when are y'all going to get married? When are y'all going to get married?
We're getting those questions.
Single broken people asking when y'all get married. Like,
we're getting those questions too. It is like, damn, when did y'all start putting like expiration dates on our shit? Like,
it's like,
like
give it time, like whenever y'all are ready, because it's like you have things that you're discovering about each other. You're trying to work through stuff as you discover each other. So it's like, I don't need the time clock. And the new time clock is when y'all gonna have kids.
Yeah.
When y'all gonna have kids.
But the point is, I think it always just seems like society always makes us feel like this. It's either marriage and then what's the next step? Then it's kids. And after kids, do you have any pets? Or when are you getting this? It's like, why is it ever enough? Why is it never enough? You know,
and this white picket fence and stuff.
Right.
So, what would you say is the biggest misconception about relationships?
That there's a right way to love someone.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know. They like, cause most people, you know, growing up, they go off based off what they see from their parents, and they automatically think like, oh, this is it. This is what I want. This is how I want to love. This is how I want my marriage to be. But that what may be right to you may not be right for somebody else, because they don't see that. They didn't see your parents raised like they was raised in a totally different household, and it's not necessarily about loving the right way. It's about loving each other in a way that works for y'all, if that makes sense. You know, because I mean, you know, we love different. I don't think like.
You think we love different?
I think we do, and I don't think people really get to fully see the extent of our relationship, because you know,
as they shouldn't.
Most because a lot of people like on the outside, they probably don't even think we argue like that. But we argue down, but we come up like, you know, for us, we have our talks and we have our deep discussions, and we actually talk and sit down like, well, you know, I don't like this, and this is how I want to. This is what love looks like to me, and this is what love looks like to me. And we sit down and we come in agreement in the middle, like, okay, well, we can do this and we can do that, and then we just make it our own.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like a lot of people have this, like you said, misconception of how a relationship needs to look like. It needs to look like monogamy. It needs to look like this. It needs to look like that. But I'm like, really, relationships are catered to the two people that are in it for their own personal experience. And you can't tell me, oh, well, my relationship need to be monogamous or whatever. Like, it's this systematic thing. Like, we got to get married in the church, or we got to get like, no, if I want to go on the beach and hand fast, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't need to be like traditional or whatever, because that's the way society has done it. And so, we're going to take a really quick break. So we definitely want y'all to stay tuned and come right back to Keep It Real with Rahim Brazil. And we definitely want you to subscribe to this channel. Also, make sure you click on that notification bell so you can get the updates of when we're posting these videos. We'll be right back after this on Keep It Real.
Crazy. It's a lot, and it's sad that it happens, but it happens. But I would be the type of person that would tell you to seek help, reach out to a therapist. It's okay. Like, these days, it's okay to reach out and talk to a therapist. But like I said, back in the day, we couldn't go and say, well, Uncle such and such did this to me.
My male friends, and I got pissed off, or I started crying, or something like that. They looked at me and called me everything but the child. Like, I can't evoke my emotions to my boys. Then what am I supposed to do? So it's like, I didn't have my dad there. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't go to him.
I learned my masculinity and my emotions through my grandfather. I didn't get a chance to learn through my father. But
I always dealt with things on my own.
But I feel I'm getting better with it because I can talk about it. You know, they say when you can talk about something and you don't get angry over it, you're healing.
All right, welcome back to the show. I want to welcome you back to such an amazing show with my very special guest. We have Justin and Edmond here. Also, my boo, Tay Brazil. Yes, and we're talking about relationships, finding a solid partner. Now, on our break, we was talking about, you know, just different things that you can do when you're arguing, and you know, and so we were asking the question: do you go to sleep? Like, what is your process when y'all get into an argument?
It varies, but I will say as we progress in our relationship,
Yeah.
I got okay with going to sleep because it's like you just get a little bit more time to think, and then by the time you wake up, if you're still a little bit upset, talk about it. If you're not, you're even in a better mood to talk about it. So I don't know. I guess it just depends. It really depends on the situation.
Now, do y'all sleep in separate rooms when y'all mad? Exactly.
I need to feel the booty, so no.
You need to feel the booty.
Look, that bed is a nice size. We'll be in. You sleep, I'm asleep. Good night.
Because that's how I feel. Like, I don't believe in it. I feel like, okay, we can go to sleep, man, but you better get your ass in this bed. Like, I mean, that's how I feel.
Angry ass in this bed.
Okay, so let's move on. How do you balance needs versus wants versus the changes of what you want from the heart? So, like, as you're progressing as a person and you're trying to balance out your needs and your wants in your relationships.
So, I guess I'm trying to digest the question.
Yeah.
So you saying like needs as far as
the needs as like as you're changing as people. I believe like we grow, we continue to grow. We may want different things. So I'm pretty sure the way y'all was having sex when you first met may not be the way you're having sex now. And you know what I'm saying? And maybe you want something different or whatever as far as career or whatever. How do you balance that out between each other?
I think we're experiencing it together, so I think you adapt as you go. Me as an individual, you know, I can think this way or want this or need or feel like I need this at this time frame, but it may not be the same in the future, so just adapt with them.
You're gonna forever be evolving as an individual, so your relationship is naturally just gonna have to evolve because you're choosing to be with this person.
Yeah.
Right.
So whatever your wants are, it's gonna come up. You're gonna talk about it. You're gonna be like, oh, well, how do we figure this out?
Right.
Yeah.
Because no one typically stays the same. Like, people may have like core things to them, but like as you grow and evolve, like you're gonna change, he changes, and you're just figuring it out together.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's talk about baggage a little bit. How can baggage get in the way of your relationship growth?
It can really mess up some stuff. Seriously, because I know personally I realized a lot coming into this relationship, especially you being different from the people that I've dated in the past, and I realized like I dated a lot of damaged people, but it wasn't until I dated you that I realized that I too was damaged. So I kind of unknowingly gravitated to people who might be like just a little bit more damaged than me, and who like needed me to like guide them. And it's just now like coming into this relationship at the beginning, I kind of carried that energy into our relationship, which is probably why we butted heads a lot. And like it wasn't until we had our conversations that made me realize like, dang, this is not okay. Like this is really kind of messed up. And it just made me like look at a lot of stuff and myself in a totally different spectrum.
Yeah. So what is that? How are you? How are you kind of like dealing with that, or like what methods are you taking to kind of like change or just, you know, make sure that you don't have like that repeated cycle?
Well, I would say, because being that you are like the most like stable, like you need me, but they needed me in a different way. So the ways that they might have needed me, you don't need me in that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I tried to just cater to more and focus on more on what you need than what they needed, because you can't bring that past energy into any connection, because it's never going to work, because everybody's different people. Everybody's soul is different. This energy is different. And I think that one of the things that I really like focused on in our relationship is like really like try to cater. I try the best I can like cater to your mental and more of your spiritual and mental needs, because physically, like, you know, you're pretty capable of doing anything you need. You don't really need me, but you want me. Yeah. And I like dealing with somebody who wants me versus somebody who needs me is a totally different thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
So yeah.
That's so powerful. Let's talk about the baggage thing. How can they get in the way of the relationship growth?
I feel like it can get in the way if you let it fester and you don't share it. Because if you aren't like sharing like what you've been through, there may be like certain things that this person is, and they may do these things naturally, but it may trigger you from something else that you've already experienced. But if you never talk about it, you're never going to understand where your partner is coming from. Yeah. So it can be I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. Because your baggage is your past, and you can't really get rid of it, but you definitely should know how to navigate it and how to zip that mug up.
Okay. Justin, you want to add?
Just adding in, and to resolve some of that baggage, therapy. I don't know why people in our community, specifically Black, never wants to go to therapy. Yeah. So I do think therapizing your baggage can help you grow as an individual for the relationship, not therapy for the relationship. Because you have to put yourself first before you can come together to be better as a couple.
Yeah, most definitely. What have you learned about yourself from and I'll go first, from your relationship? I've learned how to be more vulnerable and to be more open to allowing my person to make adjustments in his timing, the way that he needs to do it. And so having that patience, I guess, because I've always been the type of person to express my needs, but I've always done it in not the best ways, I would say. But I'm learning how to be vulnerable enough to allow somebody else to have that space to show me that they can understand me on a different level. And I'm also learning patience, like a great deal of patience right now. But I've been challenging myself to show up for my relationship. Like, I'm challenging myself to, like, okay, if I know I have an ego towards a certain situation or to a certain behavior, I make sure I zone in to that behavior or whatever, and I'm like, we gonna fix this, because I want to have a powerful connection with the person that I love, and I don't want to create a toxic environment in a loving situation, because I don't feel like I need to ruin anything that we have. You know what I'm saying? And so my baggage is, I try to make sure, okay, what can I change about me, and not necessarily always trying to change something about him. So, what would you say you learned?
Nice.
To act more through my emotions, because I'm not really, well, I'm not gonna say I'm not an emotional person, because I'm very emotional. But for me being emotional stops a lot of things for me. So I just tune them out. And being in a relationship, I learned that I can't do that, because it's not just, again, not about me, but it's about you, it's about me, it's about us. And I think that one of the other things that I learned is that God, it was in my brain, I can't remember.
It's okay.
I don't know, I think just being more open and more vulnerable, because I just don't like to let a lot of things get to me. And I don't like being by myself. I can be on autopilot. I can just do whatever to like cope and go, but thinking about my future, our future, and what we want to do and what I want us to have, and I have to put my ego to the side.
And I'll piggyback-ish off of the vulnerability aspects, because I feel one thing that I've had to learn in our relationship is relinquishing control. Because I definitely, when I was single, I was controlling everything, controlling all the things.
Okay.
But when we were in therapy, my therapist, they had us take this test. I forgot what the test was, but either way, it came down to it was this number system. And basically he is a very take charge type of person. I will control things because I don't want certain things to fall out any type of way. But it was one of those things that I had to realize, because I'm the oldest child too, so I'd be I gotta fix and do all the things. And the therapist was like, no, you're actually more of a helper. You could just play, help. That would balance the relationship a lot more than you think.
I definitely can appreciate that. I definitely can think for myself, being with him has made me realize my baggage that I go through or felt like I was challenged with. Feeling like someone can genuinely love me for me. I think that was a huge thing for me. I'm always used to being admired in past relationships, but not loved for me. And that involved me being very honest sometimes, whether it's warranted or not. I just rather always keep honest and communication forward with all of my approaches to people. So being with him just awoken more of a love for him, and also for someone who can love me, and allowing that to happen.
Well, I want to thank y'all for definitely coming to the show. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned right here on Keep It Real, Rahim Brazil, for the next empowering episode. But make sure you get healed, get whole, and live your damn life. Let's go.